meantime, this is kind of scary. Cyber spies hack into the Pentagon's $300 billion weapons program, the Joint Strike Fighter project. The spies apparently stole data on this, the F-35 Lightning II fighter. They took certain design details that could make it easier for our enemies to fend off an attack by the aircraft. All this comes in the heels of a Wall Street Journal report that hackers in China and other countries have infiltrated our country's main electrical grid system. Jessica Herrera-Flanigan is a former cybercrime prosecutor at the Department of Justice and former staff director for the House Committee on Homeland Security. Jessica, welcome. I mean, it just seems to me when they say, what we think this might be originating in China, but we don't know that for sure. But yet you look at China and they clearly are building up their cyber offenses or cyber defenses, maybe.
Yes, thank you, Trace. It's the most scary thing about this is we cannot really tell where it's coming from. A hacker could trace through a number of computers. It could look like it's coming from next door. It could look like it's coming from China. It could be elsewhere. And that's the scary point, is we have to reach a point where we can actually start looking to see where are these coming from and what are we doing about it. Now, the good thing about the hacking incident that the Wall Street Journal wrote about was that it was on an unclassified system. The most sensitive information about the program was actually on classified systems, which aren't connected to the internet. So that's one good point about that.
Yeah, I want to read you. It says U.S. counterintelligence. This is a quote out of the Wall Street Journal. Joel Brenner warned of a potential situation where, and he's quoting here, a fighter pilot would not be able to trust his radar. That could be deadly.
No, definitely. I mean, we're seeing attack. I think the same article quoted attacks into the air traffic control systems for the military. That's not a new threat. We've seen threats against the air traffic control systems going back to the mid-90s, where there was a Boston area airport, the FAA tower was brought down. So these aren't new threats. They're evolving threats. As more of our nation and our systems become part of the global network and we all become connected, the threat becomes greater against more systems, and that's the real problem we're facing.
Yeah, and it seems to me that if you look at all this, people at home are wondering, is this really a concern? And I guess it takes someone like you to tell us, yes, as far as our military security, this is a major concern.
It's a major concern for our military security. It's a major concern for our civilian systems, for our systems at home. What we're seeing are more attacks coming across, and we can't tell if they're foreign governments, if they're criminal operations, or if they're some 16-year-old geek in his underoos surrounded by pizza boxes hacking away in the middle of the night. We just can't tell, and that's what makes it so scary.
Imagine our planes being disabled. Jessica Herrera-Flanigan. Jessica, thank you.
It's a $300 billion program, you know, the most expensive Joint Strike Fighter ever developed. And if you're flying it and you're not sure if the information that you're getting is legit and you can trust it, and it's a very scary.
And the military says you always trust your radar, your instruments, always.
Yeah.